Once again, I welcome you for this 2-day course on metal additive manufacturing. Now, some ground rules. You are going to get the presentation minus the videos, because videos are, there are copyright issues, but they are all YouTube videos. They are available on YouTube. So you can see them if you want. Now, all the slides will be shared. The course structure is like this, that this first session that I'm taking for 90 minutes is mostly an overview of technology, covering a little bit of everything. And followed by my talk, there will be a talk focused on the equipment and some applications of metal additive manufacturing from Messrs. EOS, who are the leading players in metal additive manufacturing. Then tomorrow, first session, will cover mostly the application case studies. And the last session will focus more on the software ecosystem, which supports the metal additive manufacturing in terms of simulation, in terms of DFM rules, which are new things for metal additive manufacturing. The entire concept of design has changed in a way. Okay, fine. Let us see the evolution and growth of AM market, history and forecast. In brief, first of all, the definition. What do you mean by AM? Now, AM technologies simply defined are those which can directly create or build upon object shapes by selective deposition or selective photosolidification or selective fusion of raw material or materials without use of mold. Without use of mold is the vital rider. AM lays and joins layer over layers to build a 3D shape. So this is in nutshell what AM is all about. Now somebody can ask a question that suppose you build layers by welding, will it still be called as AM? Yes, it will still be called as AM. In fact, I mean, it is customary to assume that lasers only are required for metal 3D printing, but that's not the case. It could be done by conventional welding as well. Okay. If there is one more variant of metal additive manufacturing, that is called as laser cladding. By the way, metal is a concept where with a robo or with some moving arrangement, Cartesian robo or articulating arm type of robo, you throw the powder jet and you fuse it with laser on the fly. So in a way, you can build surfaces over surfaces. It's almost similar to depositing welding. In die and mold, when the dies get worn out, it is commonplace to fill the welding, develop the surface, and then remachine it, and so that you can salvage the casting, the costly casting. So here, instead of welding, it is fusion of powder by laser on the fly. The advantages of laser are, number one, it can do both hardening as well as cladding. Suppose cutting edges you want to harden for die and mold, you can just run a rectangular spot of laser, and just due to the process of quenching, self-quenching, the hardness comes, powder, and which gets fused by laser. Okay. Some video I can show you. Don't worry about the sound of the video. That's not important. I hope you'll be able to see the video. If not, I may have to change some setting. So please give me a feedback if the video was properly visible or otherwise. So this is the arrangement for metal cladding. So you can have variety of machines, for example, something like a lathe with a robo that carries a helium neon laser to tell you where the deposition will happen once the power beam and the jet is switched on. And on the fly, you can go on depositing the material and building the surface. It could be done, of course, nothing prevents us from using robo on flat parts. So you can build the flat surfaces or the cylindrical surfaces, internal or external. Okay. For aircraft engines, the blades get worn out at the edge where they are nearly touching the shell outside. The clearance is very less. So usually the blades will wear out like this. because of whirling, because of run out, because of whatever clearances come, whatever centrifugal forces are there will be tendency for blades to wear out like this. Now this is the cross section of a blade. For obvious reasons, the blades are not totally solid because you want weight reduction in aircraft. So it is made out of walls like this, which is hollow from inside. Now if it gets worn out here, with this technology, you can easily deposit and polish it even by hand. And at site, you can repair the engine much faster, as you can see. Okay. So the cost of process is not so much important as the kind of money and efforts it saves you when there is a requirement. Okay. So on the whole, it makes business sense to go for it. Okay. Then there is another technology. Here I said that you have a surface already and you are only building some layers on the surface. Now there can be a case that you can totally build a solid out of nothing. So here the nozzle will throw the powder metal with assist gas, and on the fly it will get fused, and you can go on building layer by layer. Okay. And you can create object out of nothing. You see this video. This is called as direct material laser sintering or direct energy deposit. You can use electron beam instead of laser. This is a regular CNC machine with a turntable. Only thing is the cutting tool is replaced by the nozzle. And this is a real time.
Sir, what is the turntable material, sir?
It's a standard turntable which is used on CNC machine. Standard rotary table which is an accessory to CNC machine. Actually, nothing is happening on turntable. Turntable is only turning the thing. The deposition is happening on this square plate that is there on top of that. It's like any other job for the machine actually.
Yeah, I could see the square plate now. But,
Yeah.
Then what is the material of that square plate, sir? Because it has to withstand the temperature of laser.
Actually, not just that. I will explain. Let me pause the video for a while. Basically, when you throw the first layer, it solidifies and it has to get quenched, right? Now, for quenching, where will the heat flow? You have to have sufficient mass attached for heat to flow so that quenching takes place, right? So you have to provide a mass below. So this can be a plain MS sheet and which you can cut off later also. It can be sacrificial. Okay. So you start initially because you need some conducting path for solidification to happen. So you put it, you don't involve the machine part into that. You have a separate plate, which is a part of the job, and you go on building the object on this. And then if you want, you can cut off this and discard the plate, or you can reuse also. Okay. The special properties are not required. Only thing is it has to give a cooling path. Okay. And since if it is not going to be the part of the job, it will get cut off anyway. So that does not matter. Only thing is that it should be as good conductor of heat as any mild steel plate is. Okay. So no special properties, no special toughness or any other metallurgical property. Nothing is required that way. The inside, the toughness, etc. Yes, you have to select the powder judiciously so that you get the properties that you are looking for. And if you do not get the toughness, then you may have to do post annealing, okay, which also you can do. So post machining you do and post heat treatment you do, like you do for machine parts also, heat treatment. Heat treatment is not something that you normally don't do. We do in conventional technology also. So you have to do heat treatment. Now some more examples. Now in the previous case, in the cladding example, we talked of worn out surfaces being built up by cladding for aircraft engine. Now you could do that, but you could do something better here, that you have only a hub here. On that you can build the complete body of the blade by building wall over wall, brick over brick. You can erect a structure completely. Powder comes in the sterile bottles, vacuum packed, because the moisture is enemy of powder. It can oxidize the powder. And these are the typical specs of the working volume of the machine. So you have a platen, and if you have a CAD model, you can print it. So simple. So you do a tomography layer by layer, and for each layer you make a laser profile. But of course, first you have to evacuate the air away and have an inert gas inside to take care of the oxidation. So you fill the chamber with argon, and then with a brush, linear brush, you put one layer of the powder, single layer, and then you run the laser spot selectively and fuse it. So like that, and after every round the platen goes down by one pitch, and next layer comes and next layer gets fused. Next layer comes, next layer gets fused. Like that you go on doing it, and you go on lowering the platen until you have built the complete object. So complex blisk shape like this you can build, and not one, you can have tiling, you can have number of jobs in one setup.